Welcome to Straight Outta Scripture, a nod to my West Coast roots, and a daily dive into who God is and to who we are in Him. Today we are going to discuss the story of Rahab. So Rahab's story begins in Joshua chapter 2, and it's often framed as one of redemption, a prostitute spared and given a new life among God's people. But if we look deeper, her story challenges us to rethink how God chooses people, how faith works in unlikely places, and how grace operates beyond human understanding. Rahab wasn't the kind of person you'd expect God to use. She lived in the margins of society, both literally and morally. Her home was built into the wall of the city of Jericho, and her profession carried a weight of shame. Yet when two Israelite spies entered Jericho, it was Rahab, this seemingly disqualified woman, who made room for God's plan in her heart before the city walls even fell. Her faith wasn't based on a lifetime of religious experience, but on what she had heard about God's power. In Joshua chapter 2, verse 11, Rahab says, "For the Lord your God is God in heaven above and the earth below." She hadn't seen the Red Sea part, nor had she wandered with the Israelites in the wilderness, but she believed without witnessing. And isn't that the kind of faith that God desires? Faith that says, I don't have all the evidence, but I trust that God is who He says He is. What is profound about Rahab's story is how faith was born in a place that seemed unlikely and unholy. Jericho was a city destined for destruction, and Rahab's home was a space associated with sin, yet God's grace found her there. This reminds us that no place and no person is too far from God's reach. Rahab also teaches us that faith is often inconvenient and risky. She risked her life by hiding the spies, betraying her city for a God she barely knew. Sometimes faith means aligning yourself with God's truth, even if it costs you everything. And that's what is extraordinary, is that her faith didn't just save her, it changed the trajectory of her entire family. Now, because of her obedience, the same God who had judged Jericho's sin also extended mercy to her household. And here's where the story gets a little deeper. Rahab's name even appears in the genealogy of Jesus Christ, according to Matthew chapter 1, verse 5. A woman the world had written off as unworthy became part of the lineage of the Messiah. And that's the power of grace. It rewrites the stories. It includes people we least expect. Rahab's life reminds us that God sees potential where others see failure. He works in unexpected places and through unlikely people, calling us to trust Him even when it feels risky. Rahab's story asks us, are you willing to step in faith even when the cost is high? And do you believe that God can use us no matter where we've come from or what our past looks like? Because if God can transform Rahab's story, He can absolutely transform yours as well. I hope you guys enjoyed this story today, and as always, I hope you have a great rest of your day. I will talk to you soon, and God bless you.